Heartstopper is extremely loyal to the source material. You're gonna feel like, wow, they literally took this panel and brought it to life on screen in the best way possible. Kristen here, and today we are talking about Netflix's new series, Heartstopper, based off the graphic novels by Alice Oseman. The 8-chapter story about life, love, and everything in between follows gentle Charlie, played by Joe Locke, and rugby-loving Nick, played by Kit Connor, who meet in school where their unlikely friendship blossoms into an unexpected romance. Over the course of this season, we see Charlie, Nick, and their circle of friends navigate self-discovery and acceptance as they support each other in being their most authentic selves. So I did go back and read the Heartstopper graphic novels after I watched this show so I could really, dive into the world a little bit more and just kind of compare the two. And I gotta say, the first thing that this show did right was having Alice Oseman, who wrote the graphic novels, actually write this series as well. There are so many moments that are panel for panel from the graphic novel recreated in this show. The detail is impeccable, and I think people who read the graphic novel are going to absolutely love this series because it gives you all of that and more. Even things like the way that Charlie's bedroom is set up with the big music sign and his drum kit, everything looks the same. It's amazing how painstakingly they were able to recreate all of those details. And they continue to bring to life the idea that this is a graphic novel now brought to screen by showing those comic panels and showing little animations of leaves and flowers, and we get these little dreamy animated sequences that show someone's innermost thoughts, or especially when they're, maybe feeling like they have a crush on someone, you get to see like the pink and everything come in, or things get dark when they're maybe having like a negative daydream. They have a lot of like that turquoise and pink that I think can sometimes be known as like bisexual lighting. It's like this beautiful neon colors that are going on, and you get to see that throughout the series. In one scene in particular, when Darcy and Tara are having their first kiss in front of everyone, you have the color scheme there, and then you also have this like beautiful confetti type of celebratory vibe around Nick that I just loved all of the visuals. The soundtrack was also perfect. The music really set the tone for this show. I also think they did a really great job with the additional moments that were not seen in the graphic novels, like exploring Harry and Ben's characters more, or the fight that Tao has with Harry. I was like losing my mind. I rewound that like a bunch of times when he just was like, I hate you, and like threw that drink on him. I was losing my mind. So I think that there are going to be a lot of moments that you love from the graphic novels, as well as new things that are just enhancing the world even more. Another thing that I really loved about this show is that this is not, oh, here's your one queer character they're gonna have to represent for everybody. No, this whole show is about centering the LGBTQ plus experience and normalizing it. You have Charlie who's out, and instead of struggling with his sexuality, he's more struggling with feeling like he's always being kept a secret. And that really takes a hit on his confidence and how he feels about himself. And they start hinting at things that I think will be addressed more as we get into a hopefully second season. And then you have Nick who's confused and trying to figure out who he is, but it's never done in like a negative way. It's always just him trying to understand himself better. And I think he delivers some much needed positive bisexual representation we haven't really gotten to see much of in Hollywood. Then you have Tara and Darcy who are in a lesbian relationship. They've been together for a while, but now everyone kind of knows, and you do see a little bit of that struggle of how things can kind of change when you come out to everyone else, and just remembering that it doesn't matter what other people think, it matters how you feel about yourself. Elle is a trans girl who has a crush on Tao, and the two of them have this back and forth of like, we're best friends and I want to be more, but I don't want to ruin our friendship. And so, we're following all of these people's stories. They're all done in a really sweet way, and I love that there's no serious traumas or drama going on in this story, because I think it's so important for LGBTQ plus people to be able to see a light, fun, fluffy, heartwarming story of falling in love. White straight people get to have these kind of romantic stories all the time, and so I think it's super powerful that this story that is just, such a simple, beautiful love story can go on to impact and influence so many young people who now have a chance to see themselves represented in a positive light. And I honestly feel like I've never seen a story like this one, where it's just so genuine and positive and celebrating LGBTQ plus characters and their love stories. I want to talk a little bit more about the actors that we're following. Most of them are brand new and have never been in anything before, and I think that actually works really well with a story like this because they are kind of coming of age and coming into themselves, and so are these young actors. Many of the young actors are queer as well, and they're representing so many different LGBTQ plus experiences throughout these characters, and I really appreciate that. And they're also centering, you know, characters of color as well and their experiences. The chemistry between all the couples is unreal. It's so good, and you could just tell that they're having so much fun. I think that these actors all came together perfectly and really brought to life the characters that people love from the graphic novels. Everybody's just a little cinnamon bun that you want to squish. The only slight criticism I have is that they have another friend in their group. I think it's supposed to represent Aled, and he's like not really in the show at all. And so I just feel like, you know, if you're going to give everybody something to do, maybe give this guy a little bit more as well. Maybe they'll dive more into that in a second season. But so far he doesn't really have a storyline. When it comes down to it, Heartstopper is extremely loyal to the source material. You're gonna feel like, wow, they literally took this panel and brought it to life on screen in the best way possible. I think that just is a testament to having the writer of the graphic novels bringing this story to life and being able to take what we've seen in like the first 2 volumes of Heartstopper as well as add a little bit more to it, you know, add a little bit more substance and kind of dive a little bit deeper into characters that maybe we hadn't gotten a chance to see as much of before in just the panels. So this show really centers on those first 2 volumes, and I'm really hopeful this show's getting a second season. I mean, how could it not? I would love to see the Paris squad come together. I think just the sheer amount of fans the graphic novels have, plus with how faithful it is to those graphic novels, there's no way that this is not going to win. And it just makes me so happy to see such like a fluffy, positive, heartwarming story centered around people of color, centered around the LGBTQ plus experience, be so well done and be so well received already by critics. I hope it opens the door for more. I think that they did a phenomenal job bringing this to life. I cannot wait to hear what you guys think, so make sure to leave a comment down below and let me know, how did you like Heartstopper, and do you feel that it lived up to the hype of the graphic novels? Because I think it definitely did.
Consider subscribing if you like my videos, and if you want to talk more TV and movies with me outside of the comments section, check out the exclusive Discord available on my Patreon at patreon.com/kmaldo. If you like this one, you can check out more of my videos right over here. See ya!